HR series, this HR series is designed specifically to HR leaders, uh, L&D heads, business HR partners, and leaders in an organization setup. My name is Chitra Veeramani, and I'm your co-host here along with Archana, and I'm a corporate trainer, and my focus is on productivity. And I'm glad to be here this morning. We meet every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. online via Zoom and live on LinkedIn. Each episode brings a focused HR relevant topic, a new expert voice, and a new guest speaker. We are active across media platforms, and our YouTube link is shared in the chat box. Please subscribe to our channel. It would mean a lot to us. If you haven't joined our WhatsApp community yet, please join using the link in the announcement section. Your number remains private and you will receive regular updates about our weekly talk shows. We're also excited to share that we have ventured into paid online training programs. We have 3 programs scheduled from this month: Pronunciation Lab, Presentation Lab, Writing Lab. The trainer will be Archana Sriram, and the details are in the chat box. Please join the WhatsApp community for more information. I now hand over the session to Ms. Archana. Over to you, Archana.
So, good morning, all of y'all, and welcome to Confidence Communicate. Today, I would like to begin our conversation with a question. When did you, Mr. Roshan, when did you first realize that HR decisions needed the same level of process discipline as operations?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So first of all, good morning to everyone, and thanks to Archana, Meena, and Chitra, giving me such opportunity to share my knowledge experience, which I had gained in last 27 plus years of experience in IT industry. And definitely, when we go through for such a long time in the work, we go through various different processes. Whether you talk about IT service delivery, you talk about the processes, you talk about HR, you talk about workforce management, you talk about asset management, you talk about anything within the company, right? So I actually initiated Lean in 2011, okay, and I joined Lean program as a global Lean program manager there, and I started a career there. In fact, moving from IT service delivery to the Lean side, which was completely new for me. It was the only reason because I always believe in removing the waste, which is something not required. Like if we all go for a shopping something, and if you like something which is good but maybe not be worth spending that much of amount, so we just ignore it. So definitely due to that kind of a mindset, I moved into the Lean program. And while doing this Lean program, I got into one of the country where I met the country head, and they actually asked me to talk something else, that we had some kind of issues in the businesses and service delivery. Everything is good, but I do not know where we are lagging, what exactly the problem is. Delivery team is complaining about. We have good people, but somewhere the people are either not wanted to stay in the customer, or the people are leaving, or the quality of the people are not good. How should we handle it? Then I said, okay, let me slightly go into the deeper, because whenever we say about Lean is something which has to do the deep dive for anything. And one single word is 5 whys. Means why this is happening, and because somebody gives you some reason, you go again, why is that and why is that? Keep on asking 5 times why, you will get the root cause of it. Okay. So while doing that, we understood that basically it is the difference. The problem is uh, every team, the process is there, but there is a definitely consistency is not there in terms of a delivery. One team is doing good, second one fairly good, and third one is probably lagging in multiple places. So we said there is definitely a problem where the peoples are taking the decisions. So one of the example I can say that decisions means what? Supervisor is saying that I wanted to hire this person. We do not have a proper KPIs or some kind of a mechanism or a standardization which decide that, okay, this is the person I should take it. No, because I know this person, hire him is not the right way to do it. Similarly, it goes to the people whom when you do the performance, we do not have a proper performance tracking mechanism where can say that this person has this kind of experience, this kind of certification, this kind of service excellence during their work. So these all reasons actually says that we have a process, but the process is not being followed by the different management lines, different people. And that's where we realize that, okay, we have to see the process has to be disciplined. Just like in operation, we say that service desk, you go, you have some kind of a document and you need to follow each step. So that's where you need to follow those things, and you must need a lean program to understand each process in discipline, and also each process how it is being followed by your management, and that's where the lean is required. uh,
Right.
this hiring till the people retaining in a company. So if we wanted properly, the people are being retained. So when we got into the details, okay, on related to the first answer which I gave, we also
Right.
understood that why there is a gap in the service delivery when we have the right people in the system. So we went into the delivery side, not on the HR side, and we started interacting with the employees as well. And then we found one of the biggest gap is the demand versus capacity. I mean, we have a customer who expects, because every customer normally expects a Superman who can run on the ground, he can fly in the sky, and he can swim in the water as well. But the customers can ask anything, but we are the delivery people, we know what is needed, and we need to tell them Superman is not actually existing. So we have to say, this is your demand, I can make, this is the capacity. And this is the one of the biggest gap where we have to think what customer is asking may not be exactly you can supply with the 1%. Probably that is the three different technologies, three different items they are asking. From the 1%, we may have to get it three or two different person who can deliver it. So what is needed, what is the customer expectation, that is something we need to focus to deliver. That is one of the most important thing in the delivery side, which is being supported by HR. And since HR was not having a clue what is happening with these employees when they given to the delivery team, so the HR function should also have a kind of a feedback mechanism with the team managers and also with the employees, what exactly the problem is, where is the process gap, what is the customer. So I am saying I cannot handle the night time, and I have been put into night time because of my health reason or something, then there is a problem. So what is the needed from the customer side, that capacity has to match that, and that will actually help you to have a motivated team which will support, and also will have a minimum retention, I mean minimum attrition. So that is going to help. And this is why I suggest that HR cannot be blamed for anything and everything, that no, this is your problem, this is our problem. We have to sit together, understand where is the gap and how can we take it forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Can I ask you the next question? Have you ever mapped an HR process end to end and discovered an unexpected bottleneck? Yes.
Okay, so basically this end-to-end bottleneck, where it comes into that, when you go into the any system, you have a process is same, but when you see the outcome is different for the same processes. So whether you talk about any person requisition which is being created, it goes for approval, and once it is approved, then you go for identifying the right resource resume, and then you go for the interview. Once it is interviewed, then you go for offer discussion. When you go for offer discussion, you need to take some cost approval, and once the cost approved, then you release the offer and the person get onboarded if there is no last minute dropout, because which is happening these days very much. Okay. And in this entire scenario, starting from the people requisition till the onboarding, most of the business and delivery, they keep saying HR is not supplying us the people on time. This is very common. Everywhere it happens, even in my existing organization. Okay. And I'm still part of these kind of processes currently, which I'm doing it for this year, where I review that entire positions and how the demand and the fulfillment is happening. One of the major challenge here is when I went into the detail, I understood the person requisition tool, which is by the workforce management team who is following. It's a tool which is not talking with a tool where which is being followed by the recruitment team. So I have a tool called A. I am creating a person required for a server management or a Java developer with some description. It goes in a tool, it goes for some 5 levels of or 3 levels of approval. Then the next day, the recruiter will go and check my tool, and then they will say, oh, this is fine, this is the requirement. Then he will create another recruitment ID for that particular linking, that particular requisition tool, requisition number, and then he will again add manual description of that requirement. This is the major gap. Because of the time limitation, I can talk about the entire day onto these processes, but I'm short in my answers. So the gap between tools and the processes gives me a simple idea that, okay, we are not aligned on the same table, same page. We are talking same thing in two different languages. One is English, other one is French. And then we are asking third day, one transcriptor to transcript in each language. So it is a delay of 1 or 2 or 3 days. Why? Because it's not happening immediately. So there is a gap of a process. There is a gap of a tool as well. So then we said we need a single tool which can talk to each other. It was a very simple. It was my live experience in the system, and we fought for it because it's a very big organization. It's not an easy one to do it. It took 1.5 years. Come into the same page. Today we are very happy doing it. Yes, there is a gap. There is some process improvement within that process, within that tool also, which we are doing it. But it is very easy to say, HR, you are not supplying the people. I have another example. There is a escalation came to me yesterday. There are 5 candidates waiting for L1 or L2 round of interview from the business side. I asked how many days. They said 5 to 6 days. Now business is saying, no, they gave it to me on a Sunday. I was busy in some escalation on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today I am looking into it. This is where is the problem. We need to have somebody assigned for such kind of a task. When I know I have a critical requirement, I should immediately respond to HR or talk to them, ensuring that if I am not available, somebody else of my team can take it on. So these are the multiple cases when, if we are not aligned with the process, not following those process, then we are happy to put such things in somebody else's neck. No, no, I'm not doing it. It is something which is Archana's problem, Mina's problem, not mine. I'm delivery owner. I'm driving the business. So these are the lot of examples I do have.
Okay, so Mr. Roshan, I would like to ask you, have you ever faced a pushback from business leaders who believed Lean Sigma, Six Sigma, sorry, just a minute, Lean Six Sigma doesn't apply to HR?
Basically, if you talk about the business leaders who is not from HR, they will say that Lean Six Sigma is actually should be applied everywhere other than the business because we are perfect. So
Okay.
the question is that this is actually pushed back by the HR leaders, not by the business leaders, Archana, in my experience. Now why was that? Because I interact with the most of the country heads or head of operations of some of the larger countries and the RBU heads. one of the country, they said, I want you to do the evaluation of how can we lean help us in HR processes. I can tell you the country name of the Philippines, okay, Manila, because they have a big setup.
Yeah.
They used to have a big setup a couple of years back, okay. How can you help me to do it? And then I said, okay, fine, let me do some kind of analysis. And I believe you all know lean talks about anything and everything. They need a hell lot of data, data and data. And when we said,
Yeah.
okay, let's have a call and meeting with the your HR folks, HR leaders, before I decide or comment anything, when we went in a workshop or a first meeting with the HR manager and the HR leaders, they said, no, sir, these lean and all is for the factories, manufacturing, or maybe for the service delivery. HR is, we are very simple. We have a all documented process. Why do we need lean? I said, I agree with you, because normally when you talk about lean is a word, people will not like it. Anywhere you go in the world, you if you the time you say lean, I'm sorry, boss, I don't want to entertain, because they know lean meaning is the simple English word. They wanted fit and fine. They do not want fat in your system. Fat is what? It's a waste. Whether it is for a health, whether it is for the organization, whether it is for the process. Fat nobody wants, because fat is going to create a problem for you. So fat has to be eliminated. And that's where there was a definitely pushback by the HR leaders. Then I said, okay, let's do this way. Let's have some kind of couple of workshops with me. Let's go for a deeper deep dive what you do and what problems you face from the delivery side, because you are the one who is saying we are perfect. There is a problem in the delivery side. How can we improve it? Yes, I am fine to talk. That is where we initiated this lean program, and you won't believe, after a week, the all HR leaders were sitting and happy supporting me to improve the process, not only with the HR, also with the business side, because you cannot clap with one hand. You need both the hands to clap it, right? And the lean is
Right.
always talks about end to end processes. So whenever we talk about the lean process for HR, it does not mean it will lie only on the HR side, some place or the other. It has to go to the delivery side. It has to be end to end process. Nobody can say, you make your HR perfect, I am perfect. No, it will not work. It has to be handshaking each other. It has to be talked on the same page, on the same table, understand each other. Where is the gap? What is the process flow or the people's flow? Most of the places, most of the organization, they have a very good process documented. Nobody has time to look at it. Nobody has time to update it. Nobody has time to follow it exactly, other than service desk environment like BPOs and all. BPOs, they have written documents step by step, and they just follow it up, which is also getting replaced these days by AI. So definitely lean is required everywhere.
Okay. The early signs that tell you that an HR problem is actually a process issue, not a process. HR challenges initially appear to be people capability issues. So, if you
Okay.
could just throw light.
Okay. uh, Whenever we go and understand any business, okay, you have to understand first what exactly the problems or challenges you people are facing. When you go through any organization or the different teams in the same delivery or business line, you see that most of the people or the team is having similar kind of a challenges, similar kind of issues. Or also you see many of them are happy to work in a manual kind of a workaround. Means, okay, this is what happens, let me do this way. This is kind of a jugaad, we call it, that we just find it something other a workaround and do it, because we do not have a structured way which can tell me, if this is the problem, do this. This is the problem, do this. If you can't handle it, go and talk to this person. That is not somewhere which is there. Third one, I can say that probably in the terms of confusion. Means, as I said, I do not know whom should I approach. Okay, one of the approval is required, and I sent an email, and he is out of office for 15 days because of personal reason. Now, whom should I contact? Who is the next person who can approve for probably bypassing one of the process or bypassing some of the cost or something which I had needed exceptional approval? What should I do? Also, it is also possible that some of the processes particularly getting delayed unnecessarily. I do not know. It says this is the process I must follow. I'm following it. If it is delaying, what should I do? No. If any process is written, it is not necessarily that you need to follow. If you find there is a problem in the process, or it could be an old process, we need to refine that process again and again. And that is why we call lean is a continuous process improvement. Lean is a swimming. It's never stopped. It's a lean. In any project, when we drive in a lean, they never call lean project. You know what they call? The name is wave, lean wave. Wave meaning is the wave never stops. So the same way, this improvement process never stops. Whatever the best place you are in, there is always a scope of improvement, and that is the issue where we say the problem is not in the people's capability. The problem could be somewhere in the process which we have to go and fix it by modifying it, change it. Or if there is a waste process, maybe a old timer process. Now AI is doing many things. None of the people are waiting for a call to pick up and say that, okay, this your SIM is broken, you go and contact Airtel and change a SIM. No, now everything is a chatbot, automated. This somebody has done a lean there and they said, oh, you replace it, AI is there to take care. This is why we say, people, you tell me, Roshan, you need to follow these 5 lines, I will follow it blindly. But somebody or me myself has to come back. Archana, these 5 lines, one of the line is quite old one. I think we should remove it. Oh yes, let's remove it. That's where I say it is a process, something which we have to update, we have to follow, not the people. Yes, people must be educated. That is required. But I cannot say there is a people problem. It is more towards in the backend system. We can fix these issues while talking, while connecting with the people.
Okay, fine. So, no
Yes,
issue.
yes.
So the other participants will go for a quick quiz session prepared by us, which will run by a Mentimeter. But before that, let me tell you, I have gotten certain questions from the participants while registering. They also mentioned a few questions. Those questions will be answered by Mr. Roshan along with the other participants. Please feel free to raise your hand and ask any questions if you have. But now we are going for my favorite segment of the session, which is actually appreciated by every participant, by many of the participants as well as the speaker. They say that this quiz section is the best part of the session. So now, Mr. Roshan, what we are going to have is that based on the interaction and the questions which you have answered right now, we'll go for a quiz session. This will be
Mhm.
open for all the participants. You will have to go to menti.com. Let me share my screen and guide you step by step as to how to go for it. You will have to use your mobile or laptop, whichever you're using right now. Answer the questions. If you get those right, you will be eligible for two things. First is a gift voucher, which we will be sending from our side. The winner of last session is here in the participants list. Second is you'll also get a free analysis of our confidence community. Okay, so you'll also get an analysis plus you'll get a gift voucher. So let's see the winner, the fastest fingers first, 3 questions. So let me inform you how to go ahead with it. First and foremost, let me share the screen so that I can send the link across to all of you. Still waiting for some. So we have 7 here. Let me exclude a few because that is me, Roshan sir. But if you wish, you can also register, no problem. You can play the quiz. It will anyways take into account towards the winner. If we see that your name is there, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to take you in. please, please enter your name when it is asking you. Till now, I've got only 2 registrations. There are 7 of us here. I will not be able to register. Mr. Shahid, Ms. Meena, Chitra, Anusha, Roshan. So please feel free to register. Go to menti.com. I've posted across in the chat screen and type the code 11126 Have registered. Okay. Waiting for your name also to be coming in here.
Okay, so can we start with the quiz? So 3 people have joined. Cool. So we are starting with the quiz, and here is the first question. You'll have 30 seconds to answer. Time to hire is high, and business blames HR inefficiency. What should HR do first? 3 options are there, A, B, or C. Which one do you feel is the correct one? Please click for that. Okay, this time it is working. Last time Mentimeter was not working. Okay, everyone has voted. Everybody has got from map hiring process to identify bottlenecks, but the faster fingers first. So let us see who has got the responses. Okay. Snuggles, I hope that's not you, Miss Meena. So winner is Mr. Snuggles, but the name is not typed correctly. I'm not too sure who is that Mr. Snuggles. That is why I had mentioned you have to type your name. Okay. Fastest was Mr. or Miss Snuggles. Now going for the next question. Question number 2. One player is ready. I hope you have not logged off, because if you do, then you will have to log in again with the name. Don't do that. Don't keep refreshing.
It does not appear the second question. It is still on that get ready to play. Maybe the next question comes, then it will come.
I allowed you all to unmute if you have any questions. Okay, so here is the next question. Answer quickly to get more points again. So the question is, a leadership training program is conducted. Scores are high, business impact is unclear. What should the HR implement? 3 options, more feedback, post-training, ROI measurement, another advanced workshop. Which one do you think is the correct answer? A, B, or C? Okay, you people are very fast. Very fast. So whosoever Mr. Snuggles is, I hope you have mentioned your name. At the last, you'll be able to tell if it is you or not. So let's see in the score. Okay, so for the second one, again it is Mr. Snuggles. Okay, Mr. Snuggles, I really wish to know who is this Mr. Snuggles.
Okay. I think it's Anusha. She had written something in the chat box. I think somebody had mentioned, saying that I'm sorry, I'm unable to change it, but logged in as.
Okay, but I didn't get that.
Somebody had mentioned it.
Okay, yes, I got it. It was on the top.
Yeah, Anusha Vijay Kumar. Sorry, I got registered under the name Snuggles.
Anusha, you prepared for the second one also. Last time you got it, you got the prize. This time also you're going to get the prize. Is it? Okay, so now we are going for the last question. Two players are ready. We have 3 players who are playing this game with us. Okay, so third one has also come in. And here is the question. Question is, a key department shows rising attrition, exit interviews cite work pressure. What is the Lean Six Sigma aligned approach? A, B, C. Which one is the correct one according to you? Everyone has voted. So let us see now. Everybody has gone for B option only. And in this case, again, it is going to be fastest fingers first. It's going to be a combined response. And the winner is Miss Snuggles, that is Miss Anusha. So she was already prepared for getting, but really appreciated that even as per the system, Chitra and Roshan, they are going a little bit seconds behind, but Miss Anusha is winning here even as per the system. That informed at the initial phase itself that if anybody of us are going to register, I'm not going to be giving the prize to them. So I'm so happy that even system allowed it. Even system did that calculation. I didn't do that. The system did it. Okay, congratulations.
Made your job easy.
Anusha, again, please type congratulations in the chat box to Miss Anusha, and we are going to give across the 2 gifts to her. One is the gift voucher, and second is an analysis, a confidence communique analysis, which is coming across the way. Okay, thank you so much to the participants for coming in. Now that's 2 things. Towards the end of the session, I request you all to please turn on your videos so that we can take a small pic along with the speaker. And second is that 1 minute sharing, yeah. And second is that there is going to be a question and answer, a Q&A session. So if the participants have any questions to raise, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll be answering that. Please feel free to raise your hand, we'll be answering that. Please type congratulations, Anusha. I got only one from Miss Meena. Okay, Chitra has also said congratulations. Cool. All right. So anybody who has any questions, please raise your hands. Otherwise, there's one question which came across Mr. Roshan. Maybe that person is not there in the participant list right now. He says, how Six Sigma can help in managing the performance of the computer training program, computer training center. We train students in various IT courses with placement after completion of the course.
Oh, very good. Out of the syllabus questions, I never looked in about this training center one, but very good question still. Okay, so any place where we go, whether it is a delivery center or a training center, what is the outcome? People go for a training. Simple reason, if you ask, why are you coming for a training? Their expectation, I should get a best job, very good salary, right? That is the expected outcome, because without return on investment, why the people will come for a training? So first reason is that when these people, when you have a question, when you said something related to placement, right, after completion of the training, right? So um, when these people are going for any kind of enrollment or applying for the company, what happens? So my first thing is that the training center should follow couple of KPIs, right? The KPIs, the key performance indicators, which can tell them what are the areas they need to improve. So one of the area is that first, that person, what is the capability and how they are going for the enrollment process for applying any of the job which is in the market. Because one is that you are capable, and second is that how are you applying, how are you presenting yourself to face the interview and so on. That is one of the areas. Second is the training quality. What do you mean by training quality? I mean, there is a training going on, 5 different batches in your training center. Possibly you will find 1 or 2 batches are going good, but some of them I see that the people are 2 days they come for a training, some people are not coming, one day coming, other day not coming. Seriousness is not there, could be one of the reason. This could be also a reason they are not getting attracted to the training, because of whatever being taught by the trainer, they are not happy or they are not matching, right? Third is that course completion. How many people who have enrolled the course, they have really completed with the 100% attendance? And also, what was your weekly or whatever the assessment score you are having it, to understand how the students are actually learning in your training. So these are the areas, KPIs will tell you what is your training quality. So if you find people are absent, or people are not completing in a proper way, or the assessment scores are not good, you should not be waiting for the end. In this week score I see less, probably you can ask additional extra classes for that week, whatever the chapter, whatever the training module was been trained, and ask them to reappear for the assessment score with the different questions again, and let's see how it goes. This will tell you the training quality. Second is that um, students are getting dropout. What was the reason they drop out? Means they started a training, and in between they dropped it. What could be the reason? This could be various reasons. Either that person is coming from very far, that person has some health issues, that person could be not happy with the trainer, or probably the course is very tough for him and he has to understand some high level of programming, and he does not know the basic level of that, and you have enrolled because you are getting money, and you said, oh, take this person, I will train you. No, that is not the way. You also need to have the person readiness, that for this training you must know the basic level, what is required to be. If you need probably 3, 5, 10 days extra classes has to be done with that kind of a person, to tell them that before understanding the base ground, you cannot just go on. Definitely that is going to help you. Then it comes in a final, when everything is you have taken care, the placement process. How are you going to check after this batch completed? 10 people was in one batch, and they all have gone and appeared for 1 or 2 interviews. How many people interviewed? How many people cleared the written exam? What was the difficulty they faced? What was the skill gap what they faced during the interview or during the written exam? Take that feedback from your students, come back to the training program, add it there, because you cannot just teach what you know. You need to teach what the market is demanding, and this is where you need to help your students, because unless until your student is your just customer, right? Unless until your students are not happy, you cannot just get it. So the way you need to do this end to end, enrollment to completion, how many people, then student satisfaction also you need to figure out. Not like that you give me a good rating, I am your teacher, I am your trainer, and just give it. No, it has to be unilateral, it has to be anonymous, right feedback, because that will help you to ask your trainers to improve in what all areas. Nothing against any trainer, because every one of us has to improve in our daily life. So this is the basic things which I suggest for any training institute, has to go through the each KPIs monitoring and the process improvement. And that's where, as I said, lean is the word. You can use it lean, or you can say the continuous process improvement, or the KPIs is the tool which will tell you which all areas you need to focus. Am I
Thank you
answered
so
the
much.
query, Archana?
To answer the query in detail, I'll take a separate one recording of only this and I'll send it across to the person who's put forward this question. Now, there are two more questions. And before we go for those two questions, participants, let me inform you, please stay with me towards the end. We'll ask you to please turn on your video so that we can take a click. There are two questions. One is by Miss Chitra and one is by Miss Anusha. Miss Anusha's question is in the chat box. We'll go to that later. First, we'll go for question by Miss Chitra because she went for it first. Can you please go ahead and ask your question, Ms. Chitra?
Yeah, thank you, Archana. Mr. Roshan, thank you for that interesting session. I have a question. When we speak of lean, we mean eventually there are going to be savings on the for the company, right? Have I understood that right?
Yes.
So, if you bring in the lean process into HR, how do you measure in terms of how have we saved and what have we saved? How do you do that? You can bring in a lot of lean processes, but eventually when you show to the management saying, because I've done this, I have saved so much for the company. How do you do that?
Okay. See, when we talk about the lean, the
Mm,
savings is not always being monitored or visible in terms of numbers, right?
mm, mm,
When we talk about the lean process, especially for HR,
mm,
the satisfaction level of the delivery, because HR is, people say they are the support function. Actually, they are not the support function. They are the backbone for any company. And if your HR process or HR has going through some or the other issues, you will have various issues in the delivery running your entire company in the business. So suppose today you have lot of complaints related to your hiring process, retention, recruitment, workforce alignment, management, interaction, lot many issues. And after implementing a couple of process improvement in HR in coordination with the business, you can just go back and ask the similar feedback from the businesses and the delivery. They are the people, their feedback, their words is actually your savings. Definitely your improvement will also be visible in terms of how are you placed in terms of recruiting the people. Like earlier delay was suppose 30 to 45 days, or maybe 90 to 100 days. Now it is came down in last 6 months, because these processes will not give you result in 2 months or 3 months. It will take minimum 1, 2, or 3 quarter, because we are talking about HR processes. When we have to do any changes, it will take 3 months to 6 months time to be visible on the ground, because when we hire the people, they come on board. When we retain the people, talking to the business, the visibility, when we start the process now, end of the year, you will see the real result. Oh, in January or quarter 1 of the year, we had lot of issues from the HR side, but we
Right.
have improved a lot. Our business leaders, business heads are very happy the way HR is functioning today, whether in terms of the quality of the people, quality of the hires, and the time being spent to hire on board a person in the company. That is your savings actually, because you are saving, you are running the business in sitting in behind for these all delivery team.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank you
much.
so
I hope that
much.
answers your question, Ms. Chitra.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mr. Roshan. Thank you so
In
much.
addition to that, Chitra, you will also see some numbers which I do not want to say, but since you said numbers, and I am the guy, I was heading business operations for GDC India for 6 7 years. So anything we talk about, management is still expect. Tell me the number.
Yes,
When
yes.
you
Right.
do this, when
Absolutely
you
true.
yeah, when you do
Right.
this entire process improvement, I can tell you, after 6 months, 9 months down the line, you will be able to show your management. Earlier, this was my team size, probably 20 people were having an HR team. I was able to manage 300 hires in a quarter. Now with the same team, I have a capability to hire 450, 500, 600, depending upon whatever changes you did in your system. That is the number you talk about.
Right.
Then your management will say, I will tell you the answer right away. They will tell you, okay, you have the 500 demands capability, but I do not see, I need so many. Are you ready to reduce so many people?
True. Very
I'm
true.
telling you, because I am in the same place. I'm driving this across the organization from India to multiple countries. This is all happens. I cannot answer these questions. If somebody needs it, you have to interact separately, not in a forum.
Correct.
Certainly.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you for that insight.
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roshan, for a beautiful insight. Thank you so much, Ms. Chitra, for adding into the question as well, adding into the Q&A. So we need to end the session in another 3 minutes, but we have one more beautiful question. I think it can be very much objective kind. So Ms. Anusha is asking a question that is, can you share some HR specific courses or certifications for lean management or for Lean Six Sigma? Thank
Okay. See, Lean Six Sigma does not talk about any particular process or a factory environment. I can just give you one liner feedback. Lean came from where? If you do not know,
Yeah.
it came from the manufacturing environment called Toyota after Second World War. Toyota was
Okay.
almost crashed. They were nowhere and they were about to shut down the factory, and that's where lean started. And because the lean is something which more talks about the manufacturing kind of a process, so they started lean and Six Sigma, and definitely identifying the problems, measuring it, data analyzing, improving and controlling. There is a word called DMAIC: define, measure, and analyze, improve and control, right? So this is basically started from that kind of a mindset. But later stage, after 70s or so, when IT and all started coming, then everybody said, if it is manufacturing, process is everywhere, why can't we use it? And that's where this lean was been widely accepted in IT organizations, because IT is mostly software. We do hardware, but when we talk about
Correct.
hardware, that is goes into the manufacturing again. So this lean is nowhere talks about only one particular process, whether it is HR or a service delivery or it is a manufacturing. Lean talks about anything which is a waste. You can implement the lean in your day-to-day life. You can implement the lean in your health system. You can implement the lean what you spend on your daily and monthly basis. Do you really need it? No. When we go to mall, simple way, you buy most of the things, 80% of the things which you may not
Right.
require, because there is a sale, let me buy it now, we will think later, right?
Correct.
Exactly. But that is why lean says it's something not
Yes.
required, don't buy it. So there is no specific training for
Completely
HR.
agree.
yeah, there is a process training available in the market. Okay, you can check it out online. There are multiple companies, right? So you can go ahead. There is a starting is a yellow belt, then green belt, then the black belt, and then master black belt. Those black belt and master black belt is quite expensive training. It's not an online one. It is when I did it was not online. I don't know now how it's happening, but it is all face to face. Yellow belt, you can do it probably online. You can see maybe Udemy and all. Probably they would be providing it, but this is a purely talks about any kind of process and you can execute anywhere. For me, you talk about any process, I can talk about it.
Right.
I am a pure IT guy.
Okay, so now coming to an end of it, thank you so much to all the participants who have joined. I really request you to please turn on your videos so that I can quickly take a pic with all of you, with all the speakers. By the way, our next week session is going to be with Mr. Rajesh Swaminathan. The details are there in the chat screen, the registration link. I hope you have seen that. If not, I'll anyways be posting it again. So that you can register for the session. I really request you all to please come in for the session for that one as well. And Mr. Roshan, thank you so much. I speak on behalf of all the participants. It was a beautiful session. But before I even hand over the welcome note to Miss Meena, 1 minute. Yes. So I can take a small pic with all of you. Sorry, kind of rushing through stuffs because we are a little bit delayed, but I don't think a delay by just 2 to 3 minutes is going to affect us much. Okay, so I'll take a quick pic on the count of three. 1, 2, and 3. Done. Thank you so much. I'm pasting it across
Thank
on
you.
the chat screen. Over to you, Miss Meena, for concluding the session.
Thank you, Archana, for the handover. Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Archana, for the handover. My name is Meena, and I'm truly sorry. Just a minute. Hello. Yeah. So we would. That was a truly insightful session from Mr. Roshan. And I, being a trainer, I could connect with everything with which what Mr. Roshan was also saying. So, before we conclude, here is an important announcement to be made. We request the participants to join in our WhatsApp community for regular updates of our paid and unpaid workshops. We hold talk shows every Saturday between 10 to 11 a.m. and the details are always posted in the WhatsApp community. The link is pasted in the chat box. Also, all our YouTube link is pasted in the chat box. Request you to please subscribe to our channel. We would like to reiterate that we also have ventured into paid online training programs. We have 3 programs scheduled for this month. The first is Pronunciation Lab, second is Presentation Lab, and the third is Writing Lab. Trainers will be Archana Sriram, and the details are in the chat box. I now hand over the session to Ms. Archana.
Thank you so much, Ms. Meena, for the beautiful conclusion. And thank you so much, Mr. Roshan, for coming in for the session, taking out your time, coming for the session. Really appreciated. We just started off with a general introduction, but here we are standing in a beautiful session. Beautiful. It is conducted very well by you. I really appreciate you for this.
Thank you so much for the feedback, and
So
I
here's the key
appreciate
takeaway.
that.
HR impact cannot remain invisible. When HR applies Lean Six Sigma thinking, decisions become data-backed, processes become predictable, capability becomes measurable, and credibility increases. HR moves from support function to a strategic performance partner. Thank you to everyone who participated actively. Please follow us on LinkedIn, join our WhatsApp community for upcoming HR-focused conversations. Thank you so much, everyone. And Arvind.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.